A very good morning, one and all. In this session, I have to explain about data structures in Python. In previous class, I have completed Unit 1. So in this session, we will be learning about data structures in Python. Yeah, is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Keyboard. Thank you. So what is a data structure? Data structures are used to store, organize, and manage your data so that you can be accessed the data and you can work on the data efficiently. Okay, so data structures are mainly used to store as well as organize your data, and also you are working on the data efficiently. In Python, we have two different types of data structures. One is built-in data structures. By using those built-in data structures, we can develop user-defined data structures. Those are arrays, stacks, queues, trees, graphs, and hash maps using these built-in data structures. Okay, so data structure is nothing but you are arranging your data in an organized manner, and also you are working with your data efficiently. In Python, we have two different types of data structures. One is built-in data structures, second one is user-defined data structures. The user-defined data structures are arrays, stacks, queues, trees, graphs, and hash maps. All these data structures implemented by using the built-in data structures. Coming to what are built-in data structures, we have four different types of built-in data structures in Python. One is list, second one is tuple, third one is sets, fourth one is dictionaries. Lists are nothing but all these, whether it may be list, tuple, sets, dictionaries, all are nothing but you are arranging your data in a sequential manner. Okay, but those are have some sort of differences. We can see later. Now the first one, list. List is nothing but organizing of heterogeneous data. So it can be represented with square brackets, which are mutable. Mutable in the sense you can change after its creation. If you are creating a list and then you can add some elements, remove elements, you can modify the contents in that list. So those we can call it as mutable data structures. Immutable data structures means you can't modify any changes after its creation. Those we can call it as immutable. So depending upon your data structure, you can implement either using mutable or immutable. It is upon your choice. Okay, mutable in the sense you can apply changes after its creation. Remember that. Immutable means we can't modify once its creation. Okay, so list can be represented using square brackets, which are mutable. Tuples can be represented with open parentheses, which are immutable. Both lists and tuples are same, but lists are nothing but mutable, tuples are immutable. Sets are like different one. Sets like as we are discussing earlier, in discrete mathematical structures. In the first semester itself, you studied discrete mathematical structures. In that, you learnt sets. Set is nothing but collection of orderly arranged elements. Okay, so sets can be represented using flower braces, which are also mutable. That means you can modify it after its creation. Next, coming to dictionaries. Now, dictionaries are nothing but used to create a lookup tables. What is a lookup table? Lookup table is nothing but you have one coded value and its corresponding coding element. For example, if you want to represent A as 0, 0, B as 0, 1, some C as 1, 0. So that A, B, C are nothing but key values. So that A, B are nothing but key values, and corresponding representation of value for A is nothing but value. So these are called it as dictionaries, which are used to prepare lookup tables for projects. Okay, in real-time projects, we have to create lookup tables. At that time, we are using dictionaries, which are also mutable. Okay, so mutable in the sense we can change the modifications. Immutable means we can't change it. We can't do any changes after its creation. So, what are the built-in data structures available in Python? 4. List, tuples, sets, dictionaries. Out of these 4, tuples only immutable. The remaining 3 are mutable. Next, let us see how to implement list data structure. Okay. Now note down the operations which are available in list data structure simultaneously. Okay. So how you have to create a list? So list 1 is a variable name and equals to, the list can be represented in square brackets. Whenever you are declaring a variable with square brackets, which is nothing but a list. Let us check its data type. So for knowing the data type of particular variable or object, we are using a type command. Type of list1. Then it gives, it is of type list. Isn't it? Okay. Next, how you have to give elements. So list1 is equal to, so the roll number of a student and name of a student and marks of each subjects. Like that, you can define a list. So list is a heterogeneous. Heterogeneous in the sense it contains different types of elements. Arrays, you already know that arrays in C, Java. Arrays are storing elements which are of similar data type. But here the list contains dissimilar data item values. You can see here. So numerical type, string type, floating point representation, different types of combination elements allowed by the list. Okay. So kabatti meer list eppudu use cheyali if you want to store different type of elements. Different data type of elements, if you want to store into a sequential manner, then you can use list. Okay. So if you want to print the contents of a list, simply command the name list1. Next, the list also, if you want to access the list of elements, then you have to use indexing. List of 0, like as I said earlier in the strings, list of 0. That means each element indexing from 0 onwards, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, if you want to print fourth element, next, similarly, if you want to access the last element, the index is negative indexing we are using in Python. So list1 of -1, that is you can access the last element. If you want to access the last but one element, list1 of -2. So the positive indexing is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The negative indexing is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Okay, if you want to so this is like a memory indexing. You can store the elements in a partition manner. Okay, so this indexing starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this we can represent it as list 1. Okay, so similarly you can access the elements in reverse order, that we can represent it as negative indexing. -1, -2, this is of -3, this is of -4, and this is of -5. Okay, you can access the elements either in positive indexing or in negative indexing. Suppose if you are storing the elements like 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Okay, if you want to access the element of second index, that means third position element, but the index is 2, then you can access that element is list 1 of 2. So you can access like list 1 of 2. Here the element. Okay, like that you can access the elements of a list using either positive indexing or negative indexing. Similarly, if you want to access this indexing in a negative, then -1, -2, -3, -4, this is -5. So list 1 of -5. Okay, next, what are the methods available in list? Let us see. So the first one is, if you want to know the length of list, so length of list 1. So how many elements this particular list 1 contains? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if you want to find out how many elements in a given list, you must use length of list 1. Okay, now simultaneously you note down all these methods. Okay, next, if you have another list, for example, I'm creating one more list with elements 11, 22, some 15, 23, 45, some 89. Now if you want to find out minimum element and maximum element in a given list, you have to use min of list 2. So what is the minimum element? It's 11. So the output is 11. So what is the maximum element? It's 89. So the output is 89. Okay. Similarly, you can perform lists are, one more thing, lists are mutable. Mutable means once the list is created, and then if you want to do any modifications in that particular list, you can. Okay, so that's why lists are called it as mutable. Further, if you want to do any modifications in the sense whether you may add or you may delete elements into a list or delete elements from a list. Okay, so if you want to add elements into our list, you are using either append extend, insert. Okay, so these three functions you can use for adding elements into your list. Let us see one by one. First, what is an append? So what is the elements in list 2? These are the elements. Now if you want to add 100 number into your list, then you can use append function. So the append function is used to add elements in the last of the list. So the 100 is added in the last position. Similarly, if you want to add list 2 dot append of some 150, again see the list. Okay, like that you can add the elements into your list by using append function. Okay, now let us see the method insert. So list 2 dot insert. Insert is used to insert an element in the given index position. For example, if you want to insert in the third index and the element is 200. So in the third index, that means 0, 1, 2, this is the third index. Okay, indexing. Remember that indexing, not position. So indexing, that means third index in the sense it will be placed in fourth position. So 0, 1, 2 and this is third. In the third index place, the element 200 will be inserted. So what is the difference between append and insert? When you are using append, the element will be added at the end of the list. Whereas when you are using insert, the given element will be inserted at the given index position. Okay, next, let us see extend. Here, you can see iterable. Here, the extend function, if you observe, here it is iterable. Iterable in the sense, you have to give the list. Okay, for example, I am giving 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, print list 2. So, if you want to add the entire list of elements into this list, you are using list extend function. Okay, for example, let us see one more example. I have list 3. List 3 contains 1, 2, 3, 4 and list 4 is equal to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now I want to add list 4 elements into list 3. Then simply you are using, first check it. What are the elements in list 3? 1, 2, 3, 4. And what are the elements in list 4? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now you want to add the list 4 into list 3. So list 3 dot extend list 4. Now check the list 3. So the list 4 items will be added into the list 3. Okay, so if you want to add one more list of items into the current list, then you have to use extend function. Okay, so modifications, that means you can perform adding of elements by using 3 different functions. What are those? Insert, append, extend. Insert means you can insert the given element at the desired index position. Whereas coming to append, which is used to add the given element at the end of the list. And coming to extend, which is used to add another list into the current list. Okay, is it clear, ma? Till now, any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. Next, modifications in the sense either we can perform adding of elements or we can perform deleting the content. Okay, now performing deletion by using pop function or remove function. Okay, for adding we have three: insert, extend, append. Similarly, for deleting the content we are using pop or remove. So first let us see the list of items in list 3 are these are elements. Now you want to pop an element. List 3 dot pop. Always పాప్ అన్నప్పుడు మీరు లాస్ట్ ఐటమ్స్ ఏవైతే యాడ్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నారో ఆ ఎలిమెంట్స్ ని మీరు రిమూవ్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. ఓకే, సిమిలర్లీ ద పాప్ ఫంక్షన్ విల్ బి వర్క్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ది ఇండెక్స్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐ వాంట్ టు రిమూవ్ 0, 1, 2, third indexing. Okay, so which element is removed from the list? Third indexing, 0, 1, 2, 3. Now check the list 3 after removing these three elements. So the list 3 contains 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, similarly we have one more function which is remove. So list 3 dot remove of 5. So what is the difference between pop and remove? Pop is used to delete an element which is in the given index position, whereas remove is used to delete the given element which is not any indexing. This is an element value. Okay, now check the list 3. 5 is removed from the given list. Okay, if you want to remove the content with a name, then you have to use remove. For example, we have list 1. In that list 1 I want to remove Bharati. So list 1 dot remove Bharati, then you can check the list 1. Okay, if you want to remove some 4001 by using pop function, so you have to use index 1. Okay, got the difference? You can use pop function or remove function. The pop function is used in two ways. One is by giving index and one is by calling simply a pop method. When you are calling the pop method without any argument, that means deleted the element at the end of the list. Whereas if you are giving any index, it is removed that particular index element value. When you are using remove function, which is used to remove the value passed in the argument place. Okay, next the other functions. For example, we have list 3 elements. I'm adding append. So list 3 dot append of 3. I'm adding the same function for so if you are using Alt P, the previous command will be executed now. Okay, Alt P is used to execute the previous command. Now check the list 3. So this is list 3. Okay, now you want to count the occurrences of 3, then you can use list 3 dot count. So 3 any times chudandi list lo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, if you want to count the number of occurrences of a given element, then you can use count. Okay, if you want to see the elements in a sorted order, for example, I'm creating one more list. This is my new list. Now I want to sort the list. List4 dot sort. Then check list4. Now the elements are in sorted order. Okay. And also we have one more function, list5, 34, 45, 12, 23, some 33. Okay, this is one more list I have. I'm using sorted method and pass list5. So the difference between calling sort method with list4 and passing list5 into sorted is, here if you are calling the sort method with list4 object, then automatically the elements in the list are arranged in an ascending order and the same will be updated in list4. Check cheyandi ikkada. Then list4 dot sort anangale manaki evana elements print ayniya? No. list4 లో ఎలిమెంట్స్ అన్ని ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఎలా సార్ట్ అయిపోయినాయి? సార్టెడ్ ఆర్డర్లో వచ్చేసినాయి. ఎప్పుడైతే నేను సార్టెడ్ మెథడ్ వాడుతానో, వాడి list5ని పారామీటర్గా పాస్ చేస్తే నాకు ఎలిమెంట్స్ డిస్ప్లే అవుతాయి, కానీ ద కంటెంట్ ఈజ్ నాట్ అప్డేటెడ్ ఇన్ list5. సో list5లో మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేయండి, సేమ్ అవే ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, బట్ ప్రింట్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు మాత్రం ఏమవుతాయి? సార్టెడ్ ఆర్డర్లో ప్రింట్ అవుతాయి. కాబట్టి డిపెండింగ్ అపాన్ యువర్ చాయిస్, మీరు సార్ట్ చేసి అప్డేట్ చేయాలి అనుకుంటే గో ఫర్ సార్ట్ మెథడ్. లేదు, ఓన్లీ డిస్ప్లే పర్పస్ కోసం మాత్రమే అనుకుంటే యూస్ సార్టెడ్. ఓకే. సిమిలర్లీ we have index function. Suppose list5 dot index of some 45, then it returns the position where it lies. So 45 index value anta 0 1 2 3 4. So ఇప్పుడు 33 లిస్ట్ ఇది కనుక్కోవాలనుకోండి, list5 dot index of 33, so which is available in 4th index position. Okay. Next, if you want to arrange the elements in reverse order, then you can use reverse. So what is the elements in list5? 34, 45, 12, 23, 33. Automatically the elements are in placed in reverse order and as well as stored in that particular order. Okay. Next, again similarly you can concatenate the list, list4 plus list5. Okay. Similarly, if you want to display the list4 for 2 times, so that means the 4th list is displayed for 2 times. Okay. Next, slicing. Next concept, slicing. Slicing is nothing but you want to retrieve the part of elements in a given list. For example, if you have a list contains 10 elements, for example, list1 is equals to so these are my elements in the given list. Okay. Now I want to retrieve, this is 0 1 2. Okay. Second index, third index, fourth index, these 3 elements I want to display. Then list1 of, so what is the index? 0 1 2. From 2 onwards, colon, up to where? 2 3, 4. Okay. So 4 antunnam kabatti you have to give 5. So then it will display 2 to, suppose this is I and this is J, for example, then it displays the elements from ith position to J minus 1. Okay. So andukane 2, 3, 4. Okay. Similarly, list 1 of, I am giving only, oh sorry, 2. That means start from second index but tending up to the given list. Okay. Now I am giving list 1 of here 6. Starts from 0 up to 6 antunnam kabatti 6 minus 1, 5. So that means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. If you are not giving anything, then it will display the entire list. Similarly, list 1 of you are also giving negative indexing also. That means, for example, this is the list of items. Now I want to display starts from second index up to 8th index and increment by 2. See, this is starts from second index. Okay. Add 2 to this index. 2 plus 2, 4. So 2, 3, 4 print అవుతుంది. 4th index. 4th తర్వాత మళ్ళీ ఎంత ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది? 6. 6 తర్వాత 8 ప్రింట్ అవ్వాలి. కానీ మనం 8 ఇచ్చాము అంటే ఎంతవరకు కన్సిడర్ చేస్తుంది? అప్ టు 7 వరకే కన్సిడర్ చేస్తుంది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, నేను లిస్ట్ 1 colon 2 ఇచ్చాను అనుకోండి. సో స్టార్ట్స్ ఫ్రమ్ 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. Similarly, list 1 of colon 3 అన్నాను అనుకోండి. 0, 3, 30, 3కి 3 యాడ్ చేయండి. 6, 6కి 3 యాడ్ చేయండి. 9. So no start, no end, but each time the increment value is 2. That means starts from 2n. Similarly, if you want to print the list in reverse order, simply you can give -1. So that means the starting index enta 0. 0 plus 1 ante ikkada nothing but -1. Plus into minus enta avutundi? Minus. So -1. So -1 ante ఏమవుతుంది? నెగటివ్ ఇండెక్సింగ్ 80 యాడ్ అవుతుంది. ఈ -1 కి మళ్ళీ -1 యాడ్ చేయండి. ఎంత? -2 అంటే 70. -2 కి -1 యాడ్ చేస్తే -3, దట్ ఈస్ 60. -3 కి -1 యాడ్ చేస్తే -4, -5, like that. So if you want to print the elements in a reverse order, then you have to use this command. Whatever it may be, the slicing cannot be changed. Okay. Slicing in the sense you want to retrieve the part of an element in the given data structure. Then you are using slicing. So all these are about list data structures. Okay. I'm revising one more time. Let us see. A data structure is nothing but you are collecting, that means storing your data in an organized manner and perform the operations on the data efficiently. So if you are arranging the data in an organized manner, for what purpose? Performing operations in an efficient manner. How many types of data structures in Python? 2. Built-in, user-defined. Built-in data structures are list, tuple, sets, dictionaries. By using these data structures, you can implement user-defined data structures like arrays, stacks, queues, trees, hash maps, like that. Okay. Next, coming to list. List is a sequential arrangement of elements in an ordered manner, but the collection is heterogeneous. That means dissimilar data elements you can store in your list. So list can be declared like that. List1 is equal to some square brackets, which is nothing but list1. If you want to know the data type of this particular object, then you can see type list1. Then automatically it displays the data type of this particular list is list. So you can store the elements within square brackets. Okay, you can access the elements of a list by using indexing. The indexing may be positive indexing or maybe a negative indexing. Positive indexing starts from left to right, start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. Negative indexing starts from at the end of the list, that is right to left, start from -1, -2, -3, like that. Here I am showing like that 0, 1, 2, 3, left to right. From right to left, it is from negative indexing. So you can access the elements either positive indexing or negative indexing. Okay, for why we are using negative indexing? Because of flexibility. Okay, if you want to access the ending of that element, then you know the length, and by using that length, you can access that element. Here, you don't want to find any length. Simply -1, that represents ending of your list. Okay. Next, if you want to find number of elements in a given list, you can use len function. And if you want to find minimum maximum, you can use min as well as max. And if you want to add contents, because lists are mutable. Mutable means after creation, you can do any modifications. Modifications in the sense, either you are performing additions as well as deletions of a list. So for adding elements, we are using three different functions. What are those? Append, extend, insert. Append is used to add content at the ending of the list. Insert. Insert is used to add any element in the desired index. So append is adding the elements at the end. Insert is adding the element in the desired position. Extend is nothing but you are adding one more list to the given list. Directly you can write the list, or else you can give the name of the list. Then automatically this list 4 is added to list 3. Next, similarly, if you want to delete any content from the list, you are using two functions. One is pop and second one is remove. So pop is used in two ways. One is with arguments, second one is without arguments. If you are not giving any arguments, then automatically the ending of the list element is deleted. If you are giving any value, that means it is an index, that particular index position value will be removed. 3 in the sense 0, 1, 2, 3. That means third index of the given list 3 element will be removed from the given list. Next, similarly, we have remove. Remove in the sense you are deleting the given content from the list. Suppose if you don't know what is that particular index position of Bharati, then by using remove function, you can remove. Okay. So these three, pop, remove, pop with arguments, pop without arguments. You can remove the contents either using pop or remove functions. Similarly, if you want to know the occurrences, how many times that particular element in a given list, then you are using count function. Next, similarly, we have sort method. Sort method is used to arrange the elements in ascending order and update the same ascending order into the list. And sorted function is used only to print the elements in a sorted order. Next, similarly, if you want to know the index of any element, then simply you can give the content, automatically it returns where it is located in that particular list. Similarly, if you want to update the list in a reverse order, then simply you are using reverse function. And if you want to combine any two lists, simply use concatenate operator. If you want to duplicate the same list for many number of times, then you are using multiplication operator. Next, similarly, slicing. Slicing is nothing but slicing is common to all data structures. Remember that. So slicing in the sense you can retrieve the part of the given data structure. Suppose if you want to remove from second position to 8th position, then you have to give 2:9. So J minus 1 position retrieve cheyagalaru. Okay. Next, similarly, స్టార్ట్ ఇస్తారు, ఎండింగ్ ఇవ్వకపోతే సెకండ్ ఇండెక్స్ నుంచి స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది అప్ టు ఎండింగ్. అగైన్ ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ నాట్ ప్రొవైడింగ్ ఎనీ స్టార్ట్, దట్ మీన్స్ స్టార్ట్స్ ఫ్రమ్ 0th index up to J-1, that is 5th. No start, no end, that means it prints the entire list. So this is the starting and this is an ending, but step by how many number of times? 2 times. Similarly, if you want to display any data structure in reverse order, simply are using : -1, then automatically your list will be displayed in reverse order. Okay. Is it clear, ma? Is it clear? చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ అమ్మా. ఈ డేటా స్ట్రక్చర్స్ ని యూస్ చేసుకొని we are doing machine learning projects. If possible, we have time permits, you can also do some machine learning projects. Okay, I'm giving some case studies and you will implement those machine learning projects. చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ అమ్మా. అంటే ఫస్ట్ యూనిట్స్ లో మీకు ఫర్ లూప్ అవి పర్ఫెక్ట్ గా వచ్చేయాలి. సిమిలర్లీ డేటా స్ట్రక్చర్స్ అన్ని పర్ఫెక్ట్ గా వచ్చేయాలి. సో లిస్ట్, టపుల్స్, డిక్షనరీస్, okay, sets. These 4 you have to learn thoroughly, as well as arrays implementation using numpys. Okay, so I will also explain in further classes. Till now, any doubts?